Welcome back for another video. The international games are over, so it's about time to start thinking about FPL again, as we look forward to a Saturday deadline for Gameweek 8. In this one, we're going to discuss my team, my transfer plans and my thoughts for this game week. Starting off with a quick reflection on Gameweek 7 then, here's how I got on before the break. 58 points all out, which was a green arrow, and there were some highs and lows. Johnson came in as my Diaz replacement and he did score to make it 7 games in a row in all competitions that he's netted in. Arsenal conceded once again. That's 3 goals conceded from less than 1 expected goals conceded against Leicester and Southampton in the last 2. Very unlucky for those of us that have got Arsenal defenders. I made a late call to bring in Pedro Porro using that money that Johnson freed up, which in the end was a 3-point swing, starting him over Lewis, so nothing major really. My thinking there was that if Lewis doesn't play anywhere from Gameweek 7 to 12, then Porro is needed to avoid playing Greaves. Greaves did get a 0-pointer. My gut feeling is Lewis doesn't start all of the next 4, so that depth will come in handy at some point, but let's see. A Haaland blank, who was the most popular captain by far, well played if he went for Saka instead, who put up a 16-pointer. Just a 6-pointer from Palmer and a blank from Salah, who were the popular alternatives. I was nowhere near close to playing Wood away at Chelsea, who did go on to score that game, so a goal and an assist on my bench. I think it might have been last game week I said that I'm going to have to get a comfortable bench and some returns, as that's the price to pay for having good depth. Let's have a quick look at your scores sent in then. I've picked out a few highlights here. FPL Meerkat scored a whopping 80 points. He did extremely well as a Haaland non-owner. He captained Saka and even got a clean sheet from Fast. And he got returns from Palmer, Bumo, Wood and Trent as well. Marius started Collins in his team after the news of the Luis Diaz benching. He went on to score and get an assist or a 10-pointer. It goes to show what a chaotic game that one was though, because Collins still got no bonus. It was 8 different goal scorers and a further 5 different players got assists. If you watch the wildcard video from before the break, we had Collins in the starting 11 as well, so it's good to see him get something. The lowest score in the top 10k was Farouk, who got 18 points, which took them from 3k to 88k. It's still a decent rank, but that is a brutal score. I want to say something even crazier. The highest ranked team yet to make a transfer this season is 3.5k overall. They used their triple captain in Game Week 2, but other than that, no changes made this season. The team was actually 272nd overall in Game Week 5 and top 500 in Game Week 6, so they have slipped a bit, but still absolutely insane. Why do we bother again? And lastly, FPL FT Go activated his wildcard into an insane 93-pointer. He got just over double the average score. Pickford 15-pointer, 8 Norrie goal and assist, Bumo goal, Saka and Bowen Hall, Solanke goal, well played. So let's get into my team for Game Week 8 and the transfer plans then. Starting off in goal, and Raya's away to Bournemouth this week, and he's second on the clean sheet probabilities, given a 37.5% chance. Long term, I've still got confidence in the Arsenal defence, but a clean sheet here will go a long way, before Arsenal do hit a fixture run of Liverpool home, Newcastle and Chelsea away, where I could lose some points to the field. Anyone else not had much luck with keepers so far this season? I had a quick look back through my teams from the game week so far, and I've actually only had 1 goalkeeper clean sheet, having started the season with Henderson and then switched into Raya on the wildcard. I've lined up with a 4-3-3 for the first time this season, and the back line is Gabriel, Trent, Lewis and Pedro Porro. Man City travelled down south to face Wolves, and Man City topped the clean sheet odds this week, given a 42% chance. Lewis was named on the bench in England's final Nations League game, which was good, though to be honest it's a good turnaround time anyway from that game to Game Week 8. He played in the first match against Greece last week. Fun fact though, no defender's taken more touches in the opposition's penalty area than Lewis this season with 25 touches. Wolves look like a team to target. They've conceded 21 goals, 6 more than any team. Hopefully he can chip him with a clean sheet, maybe more. Liverpool are home to Chelsea this game week, and this could be a decisive week on Palmer versus non-Palmer owners. I think a lot of Palmer non-owners have got Trent, which is the one key difference in the team setup. A Liverpool clean sheet, probably not that likely, but it'd be a great swing Trent's way. 2.88 expected goal involvement this season is highest among all defenders, and what's even more impressive is 2.54 expected assists, which doesn't just rank top among defenders but 4th in the league across all positions. Only Saka, McNeil and Maddison have got higher XA. He scored an absolutely class free kick for England over the break. I need to see more of that in the league. Porro is home to West Ham for the early kickoff. Spurs are 4th on the clean sheet odds with a 34% chance. The plan is to use him set and forget as a starter for the next 4. He's got West Ham home, Palace away, Villa home and then Ipswich home. And if Lewis does miss a game at some point, then it'll be a back 3 and I'll make use of the bench rather than having to play Greaves at any point. It's basically cost me a free transfer to give myself that insurance, and hopefully it's a player that gets rewarded. Gabriel was Brazil's best player in their 2-1 win over Chile over the break, followed up with a 4-0 win over Peru on Monday night. The absolute dream will be a Saka corner Gabriel goal, which I'm sure will happen again at some point. Bournemouth have actually lost 114 of their 205 aerial duels. Only Palace have lost more aerial duels this season. Onto the midfield trio, which is Saka, Johnson and Bumo. If you still haven't got Bumo at this point, just get him. 6 goals in 7 games. Literally only Haaland's got more with 10 goals. Brentford has still got great fixtures to come as well. I mean, Jory's out of Man United right now, but I wouldn't call them a tough opposition in current form. They're 14th best for XGC. And then it's Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth and Everton. Another fun fact, when you're on the transfers page, on that drop down, there's a value filter, which is basically points per million scored. He's on 51 points and he's 7.5 mil. So if you divide the two, that's 6.8 for value. Only McNeil's been better value among midfielders with 7.2 points per million. FPL is all about squeezing the most value out of every player. Though I should add, picking the 15 top value players in the game isn't viable because captaincy is so important as well, and therefore you need at least one premium. Can Johnson keep his run going? He scored again over the international break against Iceland, and he got booked later that game, which meant he was suspended for their second game, which is good news from an FPL perspective. If you watched the pre-season content, you might remember we did discuss him quite a bit in my videos. Last season he had 5 goals and 12 assists in the league, but he had 10.4 expected goals, so a huge underperformance just scoring 5 times. And the discussion was basically that if he can take his finishing up a level, then he could be a real gem, and he's done that so far. 3 goals from 3.1 expected goals in the league. Saka's currently yellow flag, but it doesn't sound like it's a serious one. He came off in the 52nd minute in England's first game over the break, and Carsley said he didn't want to risk him in the second game, but he also expects him to be fine. By the way, what's everyone think of the Tuchel appointment, which has just been officially announced this morning? Going on a bit of a tangent here, but I think it's a great pick. He's got a proven record in tournaments, and he knows how to set a team up defensively, so I think he's a good choice. Anyway, in terms of Saka, I'm sure we're going to get a vague remark from Arteta, like we've got training later and we'll see. But I'll take confidence from Carsley's more direct answer regardless of what's said later. Worst case scenario, I've got the bench depth. Onto the attack, and the front 3 this week is Wood, Solanke and Haaland. I picked Wood up on the wildcard because his next 3 from Gameweek 8 to 10 rotate perfectly with Semenyo, who's dropped to the bench, given that Semenyo's got Arsenal, Villa and Man City. There's a nice spread of budget forwards this season. We've got Wood, Jimenez, Delap, Calvert-Lewin and Vardy, all look like reasonable picks. I ultimately opted for Wood based on the opinion that he's playing for the best team of that bunch, plus he's got the fixtures. 4 goals and 7 is really good output for 6.2 mil. We'll have to see if Son's back for the West Ham game. If not, Solanke's even going to be on penalties. Perhaps he might be even regardless, but I guess it'd still be Son. Since returning from injury, he's registered 3.53 expected goal involvement in the last 4 game weeks, which only Palmer can beat. Good underlying data, good fixtures. I think he might even be the best striker from an FPL perspective after Haaland currently. The data table here is from Scout, link below to become a member and get all the tools, and also get 40% off. Solanke's 3rd on the goal scorer probabilities this week, given a 40.5% chance. Haaland's top with 51.5% chance, Salah 41.5%. So Haaland completes the starting 11 and he gets the captaincy. I'm not at all put off by the consecutive blanks personally. I'd be careful falling into that trap of writing him off purely because of the 2 blanks. It's an amazing fixture, and as we saw, he's top of the goal scorer odds. There's also no standout alternatives this week for me. We've got Salah and Palmer facing one another. We've got Saka away at Bournemouth, which is okay. Straightforward one in my eyes anyway. I wonder if anyone will be tempted to triple captain him against Southampton next week if he hauls against Wolves. On the bench it's Fabianski, Rodgers, Semenyo and Greaves. You could make the case for starting Rodgers over one of Trent, Lewis or Porro, but after deliberating I feel like Rodgers makes the most sense to drop to first on the bench. If there's someone you'd rather bench, let me know who it'd be here. I can't bench Lewis because they're top of the clean sheet odds plus the potential for a return, and I can't bench Trent, who's put better attacking numbers than any defender, and I can't bench Porro, home to a vulnerable looking West Ham side, though I do recognise that West Ham are a decent attack on their day. So onto the transfer plans. This week it's pretty straightforward. The team's in very good shape across all 15 positions to be honest, so the plan is to roll and get me up to 2 free transfers. I've got Palmer penciled in as a future transfer, so I need to get a few rolled transfers in place first. This is Chelsea's fixture run from Gameweek 12. It's Leicester, Villa, Southampton, Spurs, Brentford, Everton and so on. It's too good to ignore him any longer than that, so I'm currently looking to buy him in Gameweek 12. One possible path to doing that is Wood down to a 4.5 mil forward, Johnson to Palmer when he faces Man City, and then Trent down to a 4.5 mil defender. I'd need 3 transfers, and it does mean selling Trent before he's got Southampton away, which isn't great, but it's the only path I'm comfortable with at the moment. Maybe another one will pop up in the coming weeks anyway. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. There's more FPL content to come before the deadline. Thanks for watching as always. See you soon for the next one.